everybody to another episode. Nick Lamb, are you with me in this house? Have you come on? Nick Lamb, where are you at? All right, Nick Lamb's here. Nick's with me. My name's Emery. This is Just Two Camera Guys, a show where we're going to talk about all things camera, and except for today, where we're going to talk about things NFT. Again, just like another episode we may have had, this is the one that is also getting cut together post. We actually today just did an interview with Paul Druin, which is going to be sort of the main part of this. But before we get to Paul, we are going to show you how to create an NFT. But with that said, we recorded this before and we had this like 10-minute talk before we actually show you how, even though we're like, this is how. I'm going to run through that 10-minute talk. We actually sort of talk about the very basic stuff of the NFTs. So yeah, we're going to have a quick wardrobe change and get into that episode.
I probably don't change wardrobe. I bet you I'm wearing the same shirt.
You are. Actually, you totally are.
It's probably the same.
One of us is going to have a wardrobe change.
It's probably a different shirt underneath. I forgot to show Paul this. This is the wrong episode, but I had the IKS live shirt on for him.
Yeah, so let's jump into what we recorded a couple weeks ago. NFTs. What are they? What do they do? How are they going? Wow. I'm just going to keep going on here. How are they going to benefit you? So the easiest way I think, or how I wrap my head around an NFT, it's like taking your digital product, whatever it is, so in my case, a photo, let's say, and making it into its own cryptocurrency. So making that photo something that is controlled by the blockchain and can show ownership, as well as show value and be traded on and on to other people. That's why they kind of talk about it like trading cards a lot of the time. There's a whole pile of other perks, I think, for artists and art people to have NFTs. And I think they're just a good thing to be getting into. Now, when we first started talking about this show, this was one of the things I brought up. And my partner there was like, nah, Emery, what is this hogwash you're talking about? And then like 2 weeks ago, he's like, we should become the experts in NFTs.
So, it's true. Yeah, I messed that one up.
We're a day late and a buck short. But what I think we can do today is we'll jump on the web here. We will go through how to create an NFT, because ultimately anybody can do it. Whether you make money on it or not, it's a different story. We're probably not going to make money off this NFT we're going to create now, or I'm not going to, because I'm going to try and show.
We didn't discuss this. Are you going to do the free version, or are you going to buy it, pay the gas? Well, actually, yeah, we'll get into all that details later. Never mind.
Yeah,
like usual, I'm getting ahead of myself.
You know what? That's a great point too. There's different ways to do this. I found a really good article on coindesk.com about it that I'll throw in a link into the actual description for it so people can kind of see this stuff as well. But yeah, well, do you know what? We'll kind of sort this out. And again, I think too, we're going to do it. We talked about it. We're going to do it with one of my photos, just because I think we don't want to screw this up for Leroy, because I think there can be some good money in it for you guys right away. And hopefully, whatever we mess up on mine, or even if we don't, it gives you a good idea.
But there can't just be, there has to be good value in it for somebody. There has to be a value proposition for somebody.
Yeah. So like from my perspective, Nick, why I would do this now is one, because it's going to say it's still the start of NFTs. We're probably a little bit late. But my play is like a long-term play. So for myself, it's more about getting in early, having something out there, and maybe, 20 years from now, someone's going to be looking for a rare NFT and mine's might be it, right? And if
Yeah.
they buy that and that sort of starts trading because it's kind of rare and kind of new, or it was on from the start, maybe it's maybe worth something. Or who knows, maybe for some dumb reason I become famous as a landscape photographer because that happens.
Yeah.
And it just takes off from there. So
We're waiting for since Ansel Adams, we're waiting for the second great one. It just hasn't come along yet.
And somehow it's going to be me.
Yeah. But so this is how I would actually see it, though. And this is why there's not necessarily value maybe in for you, but the reason why you would do it. There's something kind of cool about you creating a digital signature for it. And because it is so early and new, it's kind of neat. I'm almost seeing it as like when one of the first pens, it's like, okay, I'm going to actually sign this and it's out there, it's on the wall, but it's basically you signing this digitally and putting it out there, which I think is kind of cool.
And like I will have more control over this. And like I said, long term, I might be able to make some actual money or Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah. And the thing is this is the reason why it's not just a JPEG that you're throwing up online, because there is a literal cost for you to do this, because it's not free. If you're making one of the free ones, it's, in my mind, it's technically not an NFT yet. But once you're actually paying the gas and it's going into the blockchain, it's an actual thing. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. And if you think about it too, like there's sort of pros and cons to each. I think getting in early is a better payoff for me now. So like say the gas costs me, I think as we move on, I'll pay for it in Ethereum, but it'll cost me, X amount of point whatever amount of Ethereum, which will end up being say like $100.
Well, you should be able to do it for $20 to $80, I'm guessing. Depends. There's so many
sort of the thing, right?
Though.
Like so then if I create a free one and it waits until it sells, 10 years down the road, maybe that 0.8 of Ethereum is now $300, right? And all of a sudden I'm getting charged for that. The point is there's pros and cons to each.
Yeah. And there is a scenario too, though, where down the road, 20 years from now, there could be a more efficient way of transferring the gas, so that the gas fees could be way lower.
Yeah.
Because if you're imagining solar powered farms of this stuff, and
100%.
There's ways that it could be cheaper.
And it's kind of like a gamble, but even like I said, using that $100 point, if I'm spending $100 now, I'm sure I've spent $100 on dumber things. So why not try it out? That's really funny you say that, because it is not in the budget, not yet.
Emery's fund money's taking a hit this month.
It is, but I should also be getting paid for that whole event that Ryan tried to kill me on. So that won't come until December. So this is coming out of December.
Oh, and you didn't have that in the budget? Okay. Yeah.
All right, Nick. Do you know what? One more thing before we get into this. We're also going to talk to someone else after we do all this to go through some like real NFT stuff. So what we're doing is kind of like the hokey pokey for yokels like myself. Nick, again, well, you're saying I actually think that this is a great area for Leroy and Leroy to jump into. I think you guys could make some good money right away. And when we do have that talk after with our guest, I think you're going to have.
Yeah, I don't want to just have it so it's just making money, though. To me, there still has to be a value for the end user, and they have to find value in it. I just dislike the idea of any kind of get rich quick, make money for make money's sake. I don't know. There has to be value in it for the end user or the quote unquote customer.
Right. But that's the point. Leroy and Leroy's value right now is high.
Well, I don't know. It's fun stuff.
It is a lot higher than my value. So and that's the other, like, so again, using the trading card example,
like,
so
you need to tell us that it's high, but like
No. But like, think about this. Think about this. Say there was a trading card.
We haven't really made a ton of money off of it.
Yeah. Say there's a trading card that there's one for
That's some
this
fun.
weird landscape photographer dude in Saskatchewan, or there's one for this like internet famous sort of show that's on YouTube. Which one has more value to people outside of us?
Yeah, no, fair enough. I see what you're saying.
So yeah, I think it's a good area for you guys to be in, and I really do hope that you can make. Do you know what? Stick to your principles as well, but I really do hope you can make some good money off it.
But yeah, I wouldn't want it to be like a quote unquote cash grab or anything like that. I'd want it to be something that actually bring value to somebody, and I think that's where you need to actually be thinking a little further. And the classic example is what Gary Vee is doing right now, where he did the NFT of what is that podcast cat or what? I can't remember the name of it. He did one like this little graphic, and it was like
the toaster cat thing.
It was a podcast. It's so embarrassing. I can't remember the name of it. But anyways, the owner of that NFT, so you'd own the NFT, got to go on his podcast with him. So he essentially sold, which would sound cheesy on its own, like, hey, pay me $10,000 to come on our podcast. But it's the NFT is what he was selling. And then with it, the ownership, whoever could prove ownership of it was able to come on his podcast with him.
That's too complicated. That's more complicated than this needs to be.
Yeah, but it's adding value to it.
Again, I get what you're saying, because you're having like the typical reaction people have, like where it's hard to wrap your head around this digital asset that is the NFT. And like really, so the image I'm going to post here with this is it's on the internet. So like if people wanted it, they can go download it, use it, whatever. But they don't have that like certificate of authentication, whereas the person who buys the NFT does.
Yeah, and I like that. Like, that's cool.
Yeah. So there is value in it to people, and the NFT itself is valuable.
And it's oh man, I wish I could remember whose YouTube video was, but they used the scenario where if they could get an NFT of their concert ticket. So then it would prove two purposes. Of one, you wouldn't be able to buy a fake ticket because you'd be able to prove that it was real if you were buying one off a secondary market. And then two, you'd be able to have that digital memory.
Yep.
That instead of just a concert ticket on your wall, you'd have your digital version of it.
And think about all that profit probably goes to the creator, the person running the concert, not a place, not for food, not for all this other stuff, goes to that person. Again, the benefits of NFTs, I will not be surprised if that's the way it goes.
Or even all your now it costs too much. I don't know if this would have to be a long-term thing, but your badge to get into the rodeo, because you probably have 8 million of those old badges. But if that was done an NFT badge, you wouldn't have to carry your old lanyards around.
I almost think you're talking about something like maybe, I want to call it slightly different, but it's probably not. Because it would be no different, because you would set up this thing, you would create, there's only 10,000 tickets to enter this thing, and this person owns this ticket, and that's it. And then, when it goes away, you'd have a whole other market. Next year's, the 2022 version of that ticket.
Yeah.
It's all new people who own it. But you still would own that through time. It's going to be the way of the future, honestly.
Yeah. And and the proof of the blockchain till
you think about live stuff now and how much issues they have with scalping and all these other things. 100% this will be the way it goes.
Because you could look at you could verify whether that ticket is real or not before you buy it.
Yeah. Again, I think our guest is going to clarify and talk about some things that are unexpected.
Yeah, let's get into it.
That you're not going to expect. But before we do that, Nick, let's let's go on and let's make an NFT right now.
All right. So where are you right now?
So this is that article from CoinDesk that I was talking about. So it literally has like everything linked out that you could go into to make an NFT. So obviously some information on what it is. And then eventually down here, so your marketplace is where you sell it.
Yeah, I read the one news article where the person, they did it for like a news story, and they bought one that they thought was going to be a good one for like £100, and then they couldn't sell it for anything.
So the first thing I really need to do is create myself this crypto wallet thing, which I've never done. So I'm guessing I click download.
Show your password on there.
Yeah, I'll blur all that crap out. So this is a plugin
So you can install this right on your browser. So just you can go Chrome if that's the browser you're using, and you can put it right on there. Boom. And that's going to be easy to use because it's going to link up nicely with your account on there.
Am I going to have to restart my computer? Because that'll be hilarious through this.
Doubt it.
Oh, there we go. Get started. So I'm starting from scratch, so I have to actually create one. But it's interesting they have this import
penny in crypto right now.
Not a single cent.
This is exciting.
So like for you, Nick, you should be able to, like you said, put in that number or whatever and import your wallet.
Yeah. So me, because I didn't do things properly, I took all my stuff out of Ethereum several years ago. So I would have to go to an exchange and exchange my Bitcoin for Ethereum is how I would have to do it. But I could do that all within my wallet because depending on your wallet, they'll have exchanges just built into it.
Okay. So they have some notes here. Always allow you to opt in via settings, send anonymized clicks and page events, never collect keys, address, transactions, hashes, never collect your full IP address, never sell data.
And they're saying that they're good. They're like the most well-respected one that I've heard of. So I'd feel comfortable with that wallet. I should switch over, but I'm just on the legacy one because I just used Jack's from years ago.
All right. So I'm going to type this in here. We'll see if it's going to beautiful. Happy I don't have to get rid of that. I've read the terms. I should probably like read them. And this is all just a time lapse. It's a figment of your imagination. That was a lot of terms. Makes you feel safe, eh?
Yeah.
Create. I'm gonna jot some stuff down here for myself too, so I don't forget. Hopefully, what I just wrote down was my password.
So they're not messing around here. Like, I know people that have their crypto wallet stuff in a safety deposit box.
Yeah, I seen a article about the most hacked passwords in like for 2020 or 2021, I can't remember, and like I am shocked at how many people are still using like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's amazing. Anyways, I'm assuming this video goes through all that safety stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't think I'm going to watch it. But again, this is just like, it's solid password advice. That's interesting. I feel like it's at this part of the episode that I'm going to be blurring things out.
Yeah. Or we'll just fast forward something. Yeah, you don't want that out in the world. Because that's your stuff to get into your wallet, basically.
Like, do I need to keep this?
Yeah, you need to copy that down. Ideally, so like you can just put it in a folder on your computer, but that's like if you had any real cash on there, that's just open for the picking, right?
Secret recovery phrase. Your secret recovery phrase makes it easy to back up and restore your account. Never disclose this secret recovery phrase to anyone. So I hope you don't remember it, Nick.
I
Store
won't
this
remember it.
phrase in a password
I've
manager, like number one password. Actually, do you know what? On the next page, I'm going to ask you if you use a password manager. Write this phrase on a piece of paper, store it in a secure location. If you ever want more security, write it down on multiple pieces of paper, store in 2 or 3 different locations. Memorize this phrase, download this secret, recover, keep it stored safely. Oh, I could have just done that instead of copying and pasting. That's good fun. Son of a bitch, I can't even copy and paste it. That is pretty slick, actually. Like how this is actually pretty, like this is like, could you
Yeah.
imagine if everything had this?
Yeah, this is legit password stuff.
I'm impressed. There, so I've gone through this recovery password thing, which the security with it actually is quite impressive. It goes into the wheelhouse of like what you should be doing for security so your stuff never gets hacked. Like I can't even fathom how you hack that at this point. I'm sure there's a way, but whatever. Nick, one of the things it mentioned when we were going through this was a password manager. Do you use one?
I don't, but I've had it recommended countless times to the point where it's probably worth it.
I've been thinking about using one too. Like I think I should as well. I don't know which one to use. The one they recommend was 1Password. You ever looked at that?
Yes. Yeah, 1Pass looks pretty good.
I know there's like a few other ones as well. I'm always interested in this pricing, $19.95 a month. That seems expensive.
Yeah, I want the free version, but the free version is probably going to get hacked, so I don't know what to do.
No, I think there's like some good ones that, maybe aren't free, but I believe like there's like a $10 a month one I've seen that look fast. Key Pass is one I've seen kicking around before as well. None of these are the ones that I think were $10 a month. How much is? No.
Yeah, I should see which one Janice uses because I don't think she pays monthly for hers. Yeah.
Really?
But she's been using it for forever, so she might have been grandfathered in or something like that.
There. So LastPass, you start for free. It's an interesting little sidebar thing maybe people should consider. I'm going to click all done. So here is my newly established wallet. The irony of this for me right now is I'm not sure how I log in and out of my wallet. Now that I'm looking at it, that's fantastic. So at this point, obviously I could click on buy and buy my Ethereum, but I don't think I want to do that at this point because what I want to figure out is how much gas I actually need first.
Yes.
So now that my wallet is set up, now I think I can start going to the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
The one I was actually looking at before was Rarible.
Sure. This will be cool because I haven't seen this one as much.
Yeah, like OpenSea seemed more like, I actually think like OpenSea for Leroy and Leroy might be a better place because it seems more like a free market. Whereas Rarible seemed like a little more like an art exchange to me. So we'll open that. I'll have create buttons right in the top corner. So the first thing's probably going to be well, there you go, right there. Sign in with MetaMask.
Sign in with your wallet. Nice.
I don't know what this actually means, but I'm assuming I need to check.
Okay, let's see. What does it say?
View addresses of your permitted accounts.
Yeah.
I guess that's just right.
So once you get, you could kind of think of it like you could have different, like a checking account and a savings account and a.
This is interesting. I'm at least 13 years old.
Yes.
I was not expecting that. So not everyone can do this. You have to be 13 years old. That's
yeah,
your
that's
first
a weird
requirement.
Age.
No, like I feel like 13-year-olds would do this and make money off this.
Yeah, I guess. Nice.
So I think I would create a single, right?
Well, I don't know what the difference is.
Choose single if you want your collectible to be one of a kind, or multiple if you want to sell one collectible multiple times.
See, that's what I find kind of cool. So you could do the same thing, just have 10 of them.
Yeah.
Or
so
you can just
like
have
where you're like separating it and making it like its own cryptocurrency, right? So, like there's only a finite amount of Bitcoin. It's the same idea. There's only a finite amount of things that people can buy. What do you think I should do? Single or multiple?
Well, I would do a single with yours, make it a little rarer. I love the idea of numbering it.
I think my first one I could make like a single.
Yeah.
And then the one that comes after, like the OG one, is single, and then the ones that come after could be multiple. And I wouldn't do like many, like maybe 10 or something. Okay, cool. There's not really that simple too. I'm actually a little bit dumbfounded by this right now. Like literally nothing else on here, just this. Actually, do you know what? Before I do that, what I'm going to do is take my trusty old phone out here and scan that thing for the app. There it is, get. All right. So interesting. So a max megabyte size. I was not expecting that either.
100 megabyte. No, I wasn't expecting that.
So I can choose my file. Kind of where I thought was like maybe going back, like the OG thing I put out is actually like one of my original images. So one of the ones that I typically use is this picture of the Stanley Cup. Now, one of the things that gets a little sketchy about all of this, so this is my image, but the Stanley Cup is not mine. Legally, I don't know how that works.
I don't know.
So I'm not going to do that image. Even though that
I was going to say, do you own the clouds that you took a picture of? Do you own the sun and the sunset? I guess the Stanley Cup's different because it's made by somebody and owned by somebody owns the copyright on the Stanley Cup, and they'll own the.
Yeah, it's just a can of worms I don't want to get into. But yeah. One of the other images that like really kick this off for me is one that I call the Land of Living Skies. So this is the image here. Mostly I took this picture driving home. I seen this truck on the road I drove by it like 100 times a year for a dozen years. So it's on the way home from Regina. And I always wanted to take a picture of it. One day I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to stop. Originally, I was going to do a time lapse with it. I'm just going to stop. I'm going to line up where this time lapse is going to be and sort of sort that out, right? I was actually in a rush to get back to a Rider game as well. So I go out, snap this photo. I took 3 photos that day. And I take this photo, jump in the car, and I'm driving home, and like I can't stop thinking about it. I'm like, I think that was better than I thought it was. Like I couldn't stop it. I got back home and I was so obsessed. I threw it into my computer right away, made some edits real quick. And it's the photo where everything all of a sudden just clicked in my head. And it's really the thing that kicked off like chasing yesterday, for an example. It's really the photo that kicked off my photography journey, I'll call it. So I think this was my starting point that I thought should be my starting
That's
point
awesome.
for NFTs. Now, a bit of a sidebar question here, Nick. So this image here is the full resolution size of it. Is this the thing I NFT, or do I would kind
say 100%?
Or do you slag the NFT a little bit?
I would do full res. You're a photographer.
Yeah, but then someone has that file out there and they can just print whatever they want.
Well, they own the NFT, so good for them.
Share it with their buddies. All right, cool. I'm game with it, right? Like it's not like I sell a pile of these things.
Yeah.
Although if somebody does want to buy photos.
So this is another sidebar though. So how many photos do you sell a year?
Only like, honestly, like maybe 5. If I sell 5 in a year, it's a good year for me.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
not
do you
like,
take care of the prints and everything, or do you just sell the photo?
yeah. So everything I print and everything I sell is printed on aluminum. I offer no other sort of way to do it other than that. And basically, if someone say wants like an 8x10, what I'll typically tell them is like, go onto Facebook, find it, download it, and print it.
Yeah.
If a printer gives you grief, show them this email as your permission to print it. Because really, like, I can't control that.
So this is the thing though. So, and this is where I struggle with this too. I kind of, there's something to building it for as if you already are there. When we were doing Leroy and Leroy like a couple of years ago, we did decide like a year ago of going, all right, we're going to start running this thing as if we have this many followers, and just, I'm not saying it's not like you'll build it and they'll come, but there is something to that.
Yeah. Like, I mean, realistically, I think I'm taking this approach now with this anyways. Creating this into an NFT and putting that thought into like, what is the original one? What is that first one?
Yeah.
Even though your idea was better than mine, I still think like this was probably the right approach.
This is something that has meaning though. So the reason why I would see this as a meaningful NFT.
So here's the irony, right? Exactly what you said is exactly what we just did. There is only one of these right now.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to mint.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. And this is a thing. So this is a very morbid thought, but like, so eventually at your funeral, your daughter's going to go to your computer and be like, oh my goodness, Dad, you had 8 bazillion photos. I can't make heads or tails out of all of this. But this is going to be one that they'll be like, oh, this is my dad's NFT. Here we go.
And this one actually, point in case too, right? Like, so this will carry on. So now put this in perspective, Nick. Like, why do I need to limit my prints when this NFT is limited? So what do people want to buy? The NFT. And then the print, I can print and make as much money off of it now as I want.
Well, now I've just thought of it too, is how you should set up your prints is you could buy the print, or you could buy the print with the NFT, and then you've got the rights to, then you've got it there.
Yeah. So actually talking about what you're talking about. So the next options here. So we uploaded the thing. There's a little thing here to put it on the marketplace or not. Obviously you probably want to put it on. You have options here. So you can fix the price, you can open for bids, and you can have a timed auction. So the timed auction thing is probably out for me because, again, I'm not valuable. But the fixed price or open bids is really my option. Which way do you think you would go? So like if we were selling, say, a print of it with this, the fixed price would be the way to go.
Yeah.
Because you'd have to cover the cost of whatever you'd want to cover the cost of whatever physical item you're making. I think for this route, just open bid is probably my route to take. Because especially too, like say I even fix the price at like $100 or something, like no one's gonna buy that. So just put
you
it
might
on
even
the open
decide
market.
you don't want to sell it.
Well, and just no, once I go through this, I mean, I don't think I have a choice, do I?
Well, if it's open for bids, you don't have to take a bid, do you?
Content will be unlocked after successful transaction. Oh, so this unlockable content thing, this runs into some, so it looks like you would add.
Unlockable I'm going to click content.
I'm going to click it.
Yeah, click it.
Just keep that in mind that's something that could either go horribly wrong. Oh, wait, digital key code to redeem or link a file.
Yes.
Markdown is supported. I think I can just leave that. I think that's them. I think that's what they're going to handle.
Well, can you type something in there?
So my guess is if I leave this unlocked, sorry, if I leave this off, I don't think they even get like that digital file. I think if I unlock it, then they're going to get to download that JPEG. That's my guess.
I'm reading that differently than you. I'm reading this as bonus content.
That's what I thought initially as well, but like I don't see a place to add bonus content.
Oh.
Anyways, we'll keep moving on. So obviously they want it in their marketplace. I'm assuming I can maybe add this to a different. Well, maybe this is what it's actually. No, I don't know. I think I'm just going to leave it in this Rarible singles thing. It feels pretty safe.
Yeah, it
does. Free minting. Buyer will pay gas fees for minting.
Oh, there you go.
That's interesting. So then I wouldn't even have to dump money into it.
Yeah, it's technically not going to be an NFT till it gets minted.
So what do I do? Do I put that cost on the buyer or do I soak it up now?
Well, it depends if you actually want an NFT out of this or not.
Well, no, I think it'll still create the NFT. I think it just puts that fee on top of it. So instead of being able to buy my item for $5 or 0.0001 Ethereum, it would cost 0.0002 Ethereum.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I don't know which way it is, but
I kind of feel like I should pay it. Because my stuff isn't really valuable right now to anyone. So that just sounds like an extra cost to someone else that's kind of unnecessary. So I'll pay it. That's an interesting one for Leroy and Leroy.
Yeah.
To me. Name.
Oh, the royalties. That's the fun part.
So this is what I really like about NFTs. So every time this NFT sells, I will make this percentage royalty.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
You can set it. Here they have set to a maximum of 50. This is where.
Was that auto 10? Or did you put that in?
Auto 10. And so this is where, again, this is why it's a long-term play for me. So if this starts trading around over 20 years, I'm going to keep making on royalties. So say I pay $100 to get it made now, but if people buy it for $10 10 times, I make my cut of that each time. I guess $10 was probably a bad example because I didn't make $100 back, but that's sort of the idea, right?
Yeah.
If you were me, where would you place that royalty?
What
percentage?
10. I feel like 10's a good number.
Again, for myself, I think it's because I'm not worth very much. So keeping those sort of entry points lower is a better idea for me. I think something like Leroy and Leroy, you guys could probably set yours at like 15.
But the lower you set it, the more inclined somebody is to sell it and make money because then it's the less.
Yep. But I don't think like the difference between 10 or 15 for Leroy and Leroy is going to make that much of a difference.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Show advanced settings.
What does it say? It's so small on my screen and my screen's so far away.
I'm just going to copy and paste the description in there. This is probably not how you're supposed to do it. It just wants alternative text. So it's text that'll be used in like voiceover. So making it more accessible. They want like a size.
Yes.
Oh, so they you say sizes? Yes. They're using an example like a medium here, but I'm assuming you could put in anything. So I could put in like the resolution or something, but whatever.
Yeah, I feel like that's when it's got a physical product link to it or something.
Yeah. So this is where things is going to get interesting, Nick. I'm going to hit this create item button. I'm not sure what it's going to do because I have no money in my wallet.
Let's see.
Hopefully it gives me like a.
Oh, no. click unlock. I'm pretty sure that unlocked once purchased is referring to bonus content. I think they're automatically going to get that image file when they get it. But that unlocked once purchased is unlocking additional content once they purchase the file.
All right. Well, for my intents and purposes, let's leave this off. I think too, like going into your Leroy and Leroy example, like I think that's how you, like I think maybe this is like, say you're doing your t-shirt thing, you would unlock like the code, you know, Leroy and Leroy 2020, and that someone could plug that in on your website to get the shirt.
Yeah.
So I'm going to leave that off. Hopefully they do get this download. I'm not 100% sure. The other thing I might have had to do is actually create a spot to host it so somebody would get it emailed to them.
Yeah.
Is my thought.
I see what you're saying.
But let's just leave it off. Hopefully they get it. I don't know. Do you know what? If this goes down in history and someone buys this, I fucked up. All right, so let's finally click on this created item. So it's uploading the asset. Right? So it does seem like it should take it and it should give it to whoever buys it.
Yeah. Oh, because it's not just in the blockchain; it's also on this site that they'll be having it. So
yeah, what I think my problem is going to be right now is that gas thing and like where. So I'm not sure if this will get rejected or not.
Now this is a guess, but I feel like they're going to say you need to pay this much.
Look at this. Look at this. Insufficient funds.
Estimated gas $179.
I told you.
I wonder if that's because of the size of the file.
No, it's because of Ethereum. It goes based on Ethereum's value.
No, but I'm wondering if it has to do with if you picked a crappy, like a 6 kilobit file, if it would be way less. $180.
So how do I throw that in my wallet? Let's go back here. Let's go buy.
$180.
Yeah. Have you used one of these before? I feel like Wire is kind of the one to maybe use. Just because I'm not too sure about the idea of a bank transfer. I feel like that'll take time.
Yeah, all of them felt a little sketchy to me, so I just went down to that machine and put money in.
Oops. Okay, so I can like credit card it. That feels a lot better to me than.
Yeah.
What do you suppose that is all about?
That's your address.
Oh. So I need $180.
Oh no, I can't believe I'm just gonna.
So what's interesting too, so that's 0.038 Ethereum.
Yeah.
Again, it has to do, I think it has to do more with the value of Ethereum. So had we done this a year ago, it would have been half that cost because Ethereum wasn't worth as much, right?
Eighth of that cost. Right. 2019, you could have did it. One Ethereum was like $200 then.
Okay. Yes, I agree. Hit next. All right. Some card info stuff. Might have to blur some of this out.
Yeah.
Nick, do your best not to remember this.
Oh boy.
Not that I have a huge credit limit or anything. You'll probably forget all of that.
I'm not. Call me old school Emery, but I don't believe in stealing. Emery Wolf, 123 Fake Street. I don't think that's your address.
Yeah. The best part is just I'll probably leave all this in it because I'm going to be lazy. I'll just blur the entire box. So people are going to enjoy just the sound of our sweet, sweet voices for some time, not really knowing what's going on. Do you know what? Maybe here's what I can do. So it's just asking card info, obviously your first, last name, the card number, expiration date, the CVV number. It also asks for the billing address, does it in a really weird way because it goes country first, then province, then my street address, and then city. I don't know, seemed weird to me. Then my email and a phone number, and I'm going to click submit.
Mm-hmm. So now this is the part that feels good, that you're actually buying a little bit of Ethereum. getting in on the
Although
action.
$180 of it.
But then to turn that Ethereum and flip it into making an NFT, this is where I start feeling a little bit sick.
I hope someone is out there listening and buys this NFT for $180. Thank you.
Oh, it's saying that so you're getting a certain amount, but then you're having to pay some fees and all that kind of stuff.
The wire fee, of course, network fee. Good.
Oh, good. And this is US.
$250 is what it's going to cost me.
I feel like the title is I overpaid for an NFT and watch me flounder or something like that is the name of the video.
Yeah. So, but again, I think like long term, do you think it's possible that I make over $250 worth of Ethereum in the long term? Do you think that's possible?
I would say less than 1% chance.
Really, that low?
Yeah.
No.
Although this is just to make it. Okay, so I'm picturing it. Okay, the thing that I'm not taking into account is let's pretend that you could sell it for $10 worth of Ethereum and you got $1 of that, and then it could sell for $20 worth of Ethereum, and you get $2 of that.
So I paid $200 and they're saying it's $169. Sorry, I
cut you off. You're short.
No. I think like that's the proper, that 3.8, right, is the proper amount. Okay. Yeah, I'll be pissed if I have to buy more. So one Ethereum is $5,676. Yeah. Remember that like point of time way back when it was like $100?
Oh yeah, 2019.
That is a pile of crap right now. So if we've learned anything, it's really overpriced, that thing. So now I'm going to have to go through and buy more crap and get those fees again.
Or try it on a different platform and get it down.
Where else would you buy Ethereum?
Oh, no, I mean, if you tried it on Mintable.
Oh, I see. Like get your gas costs down. So I think here, to be safe, I'll do another $100.
Yeah. You're not going to regret having an extra $100 in Ethereum lying around.
It's not going to do me anything. It's literally not worth anything. Oh, man. That just hurts paying that $20 fee, right? So I paid $40 in fees. Let that one soak in.
I do. I feel bad because I knew this was going to happen and I just forgot about it.
Yeah, thanks. Some friend you are.
I just forgot because that's the part that sucks, is that I knew that this was going to happen, but I just didn't remember.
There we go. Close the window.
Congratulations.
Create.
On having Ethereum in your account.
So my first venture into crypto was terrible.
Yeah.
Anyways, so this popped up. Obviously, just click confirm. Do I hit confirm again?
I don't know.
It seemed like a lot of confirming.
That was a lot.
So I click sign in then, I guess.
You are signing, yes. So you just verified the transaction. Whoa, you did it! You did it!
I appreciate your excitement because I was just like, that's it. Item is indexing.
This is amazing.
So this is like that sort of trackable information, I guess. Or like,
so this is the Etherscan, yeah.
Someone could actually buy it from here or whatever. So it's doing its thing. It's going to take a bit of time.
Well, this is where they verify it.
Okay.
On the Etherscan, yeah. That's where all the verification comes through.
Define? What do you mean? What are they doing?
So the Etherscan here, this is your timestamp in the blockchain to prove that this happened.
Oh, okay. Like, is someone gonna physically, someone on the blockchain is gonna approve this?
Well, so it is. So that's what all the mining computers and stuff is doing. Is that it's they're processing this transaction.
Okay,
So
so these are these transaction processes here.
So normally if you're sending stuff, you get to decide on the gas, and you can say, oh, I want it to be 0.00000001 Ethereum. And then people can decide if they want to actually mine it or not, if it's worth their processing. So often my transactions would not go through because I was cheaping out on the gas too much.
Oh, that's interesting. So this is like my token
This is
information. So yeah, this is it. So this would show bids, history. That's crazy. Why is this creator such garbage?
Click on it.
Do I just have to, I guess I just have to edit that.
I think you do. So that's kind of fun. I don't know if it's $300 fun.
Well put. Oh man, that's good stuff. Yeah, let's update this profile. I guess. I don't know. It seemed weird that it went through that.
That's sweet. So this is it.
So too, on like Rarible marketplace here, this is where like if I bought one, it would go in there. My created one should be in here. There it is.
That's it. Place a bid.
So I'm assuming I'm just going to hit back. If I wanted to like link this to my Twitter or whatever, like throw a thing out. Oh, I still have to put on sale.
I don't think you want to burn it. I'm guessing burn means delete.
That's kind of what I think it means as well. Is there not just like a straight up link on the Rarible marketplace that would show me this? See, like that's the thing. Like, so I assume. Do
you want to do a fixed price?
No.
Oh, there it goes. Now it's on the marketplace.
I kind of want to. Yeah, maybe I had to do that like little extra bit. I don't know. I think too, like if I wanted to like link to it, like say like buy my NFT, I would take that URL, copy. That was handy, Emery. Copy it and then link it. Or maybe there is a linky deal up here. No.
Share.
Yeah, I don't like that share option thing because then you have to
email. Oh, there you go. You'll get a link on the email one. Telegram. There you go.
Yeah, it looks like the same crap. Yeah. So yeah, like it's just that link then, I guess. Now here's another question for you, Nick, that I'm a little bit confused about right now. So this is my profile. I don't really remember creating a login to Rarible, or is it all handled through that MetaMask?
It might be all through MetaMask there.
About token protocol scribe, how it works. How it works probably would have been a good thing to read before.
That'd been a good place to start, but would have been a little late now.
Yeah. Wish I would have read that before I put in $350.
Yeah, that's I think the title of the video is I spent $350 making an NFT. Learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're right. So that's how you make an NFT, everybody. It really wasn't that hard. It took Nick and I roughly 2 hours, not quite.
So shameful.
To make it. We overspent. Hopefully you can learn from our mistakes on that a little bit.
It took too long. We spent too much.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a trifecta of errors we've hit there somewhere.
The follow-up episode is you won't be able to log back into the account to get it.
Yeah. But I mean, it's done. It's out there. I have my first NFT, Nick. I can't wait to see what you guys do with Leroy and Leroy. Next, again, this was kind of our how anybody can do this and one way of doing it. Obviously, that website showed a couple other ways, but now what we have set up for everybody here is we're going to talk to someone who is doing the real deal of NFT stuff. I had a chat with him briefly through Agribition, and some of the stuff they're doing, it's fascinating stuff. And I think for the company, it's going to be really good for them. Joining us tonight is Paul from IKS Media.
Please fast forward the tape to the end of this side.
Then turn the tape over and you're ready to play the other side.